Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you guys are doing great. It's nice and sunny here in Australia, Western Australia to be specific. I'm up here on the hills in Kings Park. It's a park. It's not a graveyard. If you see those signs behind me, just a memorial for all the soldiers that died in the First World War, Second World War. So I'm not in a grave. Africans, take it easy. This ain't witchcraft, all right? Anyway, let me just say something. Scott Adams just said something that has a lot of black people angry. Again, I don't know why, because what Scott Adams is saying, you guys know, a lot of white people feel that way. It's called white fright. Black people move into white areas, white people take off. All right? But yes, let's look at this. He's talking about some research that was done, but he's failing to realize the context. And let me just take you back, guys. Do black people hate white people? No, I don't think so. I think black people are the most friendliest people in the whole world. Tell me one place where white people landed in Africa and they were shot on sight. No, they were not shot. They were actually welcomed. But what used to happen was we welcome them and treat them nicely, and then the next thing we're dead. So who's a savage? Because there's this narrative gets changed a lot. Gets changed a lot. And I can challenge anybody if I say white people are the most murderous people in the world has ever seen. And I would like to make a video about that or a discussion about that, and then let's go face to face and bring the facts out. So he's wrong in that. But here's the thing. Even when they did that research, first of all, you gotta look at the way it was questioned. The questioning was quite wrong. Do black people really hate white people? Nah. I don't think they do. But the thing is, there's fear and stress. These are the two things that black people hate. Even me, there are situations where, and I wouldn't say I experienced racism like some of my brothers and sisters do in America. I've never experienced it like that. But there are situations where you are in, and there's 2 or 3 black people around, and there's like a whole heap of white people. Sometimes you don't know if they're racist or not. So already you start stressing. You don't know whether you should shake their hands. Maybe they don't, because it would be worse if I put my hand out to shake you and then you avoid me, because then you gotta explain why. And I don't want to cause that. And I don't want to cause a situation like that. So what do? I avoid you. It's the stress. It's not like black people woke up one day and all of a sudden in America they are hating white people. Nah, it's everything they've gone through. So for him to turn around to say, oh, it's a hate group, when he is a member of the real hate group, that's what I don't understand. And this is why these things get changed around. You go to Africa today, if you are white, you get a better welcome than even me, who's black and African. They're not hating white people there. Oh, okay, yeah. They did kill white people in Zimbabwe, so hate crime. No, but even that, you're forgetting the context in which it happened. Blacks were killed, a lot of them in the 70s. People were fleeing Zimbabwe when it was under white rule. They were killed. The country in which these people were fleeing, the soldiers in Zambia, Zimbabwe and Zambia share a border, who welcomed the fleeing black Zimbabweans in Zambia, they were shot. And then Zimbabwe will send there, because they had a bigger army than Zambia, they'll send there the helicopters and all these and do air raids just to kill hundreds and thousands of blacks. No one talks about that. Also, if you look at the Lancaster papers, you realize that maybe the way Mugabe went about it wasn't right, but he got pushed into a corner. There was agreements that were made, and the other side wasn't fulfilling their side of the bargain. And bad things happen that way. And that's when black people react. It's always when they are pushed. When we're pushed, we react. Black people have faced slavery, Jim Crow, redlining. Even today, when the things come out, they pay more for their houses in terms of how much interest. They pay more. Everything, they still end up getting ripped off. So, and when you hear these things, and at the front of that, there's a white guy, where are you going to see it? Why are you going to say it? You know, he should put himself in black people's shoes, try to understand it. And also the fact that when he said stay away from black people, I hope the governments in France and England and in Europe and America are listening to stay away from Africa. I would love that. You know, that's what they should do. Stay away from Africa, but France can't, because if France did that, they're going to become a third world country. You know, so Scott Adams, I would like to sit down with him, and this is why people should actually learn. But then the other thing is, black people should celebrate these things. It comes out so that you know the stuff we talk about is actually real, and a lot of white people feel exactly what he's talking about. But what do we do about it? We start to make our own communities better. You know, what he's not showing is that crime. Let's put race and races together. You're going to find that crime is going to happen in poor places. It doesn't matter what race it is. You know, if you go to Glasgow, let me give you something for you black people that have low racial esteem. Look at Glasgow, Scotland, right? There was more murders happened in the first 15 years of this century. So from 2000 to 2015, there was more murders happening in that country than there was in Tanzania, in Zambia, in Zimbabwe, in Namibia, in Botswana, in Angola, in Mozambique, combined. Now, those countries in Africa are considered poor, but they're not doing as much killing and robbing and everything that was happening in Glasgow as them. So, even when you go to America, you're going to find crime happens in poor people, among poor people. Now, when you bring it up within the African community, let's go in communities where middle African Americans live, middle income live. You're not going to find crime. There's no crime there. If it's there, it's probably going to be at the same par as middle income Americans, white Americans. You know, but when you go to poor, it's terrible because of all the stuff. Even the police, they go there, the drugs that they put in these communities, and all these things that they face, it's going to even be worse. You know, the fact that they get searched more. Because here's one thing that you know something ain't right. I was watching, what's my man? The big guy. What's his name? Killer Mike, my man, Killer Mike. Killer Mike was trying to buy weed in California that was black owned, black farmed. He couldn't find any. I watched this thing on Netflix about this land, the mountains in America where they grow weed, and they were all white people. You know, but you're going to find that there's more black people who are in jail right now because of weed, but they don't grow it. It comes in, someone brings it in. So it's like, and they're not being arrested. The people who are actually, majority of them dealing in weed are white people. You know, they're the ones that can grow it. They're the ones that process it. They're the ones that gets it out onto the street. The black guy just gets it, and the moment he walks off, it might have traveled 1,000 kilometers. Once it gets into a black hand, it travels 10 kilometers, the guy gets arrested. And he's missing that. Also, remember what they did? You can be found with 100 grams of cocaine and you do community service, but you can be found with 1 ounce of crack and you do 15 years. So don't tell me that everything is fair and balanced. No, it's not. But here's the thing: for black people, we shouldn't get upset about him. And there's another guy, Elon Musk. Elon Musk, I know Elon Musk is racist. You know, I've seen Elon Musk only supports white people and Asians. You know, it's funny because a lot of white people actually right now ain't feeling Asians. But Elon Musk supports that because he can go to China, and in China he's making a lot of money. I've never seen Elon Musk travel to Africa to look for like minerals and all that stuff. Right? He goes to Malaysia for nickel, Singapore, and all these places. That's where he's going. Not to Africa. He could have put up a factory in South Africa where he lived. I've never even heard him visit in South Africa. So you already know this guy is a racist. And some of you guys who are investors, I know Tesla does well, especially when it drops. You put in your money before you know you've doubled it. You know, I get it. But I think we have to be careful with the people that we support. because this guy is going to become the richest person in the world. He has a cult following, and I tell you what, he has a media that is controlling. Shit is about to get real. For black people, one thing I would advise you is don't belong to any political party. Be an independent thinker. Anywhere you are in the world, do not belong to a political party. The second thing I'm going to advise Africans like Ghana, countries that have two strong parties, it causes polarization. So let's have multiple parties, or even parties that change. Like they do in Zambia. In Zambia, there's always a new party that they vote in. There's no two strong parties. The parties that they voted out have even disappeared. Yeah, but you get some people in the party. But at least it's not gonna cause polarization, because it's happening in the West. Everything is divided. People don't even get along. Republicans just want to stick with Republicans. Democrats just want to stick with Democrats. It's sad. But that's where the world is headed, and it's gonna get worse. And we gotta watch out for people like Elon Musk, Scott Adams. Yeah, he got cancelled and these things and all that stuff. But just remember, pissing off black people makes your video go viral. Let's remember that. So before we get mad, let's realize that you're just gonna make somebody rich. Okay? So that's what I would say about Scotty Adams. I think he's right to say whatever he wants to say, and I think as black people, the time has come for us to wake up and realize who our true enemy is. Because they'll flip the coin and make you the savage. I've seen so many black people save white police officers. The irony of that, the white police officers would just shoot at them. I've seen so many videos of people getting shot while they're running away with nothing, no gun, whatever, shot in the back. And there comes a kid, the police officer is choking, a guy goes and saves him. On the street, a guy is about to run a police officer, a black guy goes and picks up the truck to let this guy at least get released from underneath the truck that was going to run him over. And those people don't get credit. The only motto is they're savages. The friendliest people in the world are called savages. It's all part of a bigger plan, guys, and we need to wake up and focus on getting better. Africa needs a strong army, and to the African leaders, we gotta stop some of this stupidity that you guys like to do. Please, we need your help. We need to develop our continent. We need to protect ourselves. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.